Here's the thing. Last Tuesday, I'm sitting at my favorite coffee shop and I overhear this guy at the next table. He's telling his friend, yeah, man, I just need one good investment and I'll be set. And I'm thinking, oh no, that's exactly the mindset that kept me broke for years. Look, I get it. We all want that shortcut. My name is Jace, and I spend way too much time thinking about why smart people make terrible financial decisions. If you're someone who works hard, makes decent money, but somehow never seems to get ahead, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today we're talking about 3 financial mistakes that are so common, so deeply ingrained in how we think about money that most people don't even realize they're making them. So mistake number 1, and this is where it gets really interesting, treating your income like it's your wealth. Now you might be thinking, wait, Jace, isn't that the same thing? And here's what most people don't realize. Making $75,000 a year doesn't make you wealthier than someone making $50,000. Not automatically, because wealth isn't what you earn, it's what you keep. Let me show you the math on this, because when I actually ran these numbers for myself, it completely changed how I thought about my paycheck. Person A makes $75,000 a year. Sounds great, right? But they spend $73,000. Their savings rate? 2.7%. That means every single year, they're only building wealth by about $2,000. Person B makes $50,000, but they figured out how to live on $38,000. Their savings rate? 24%. They're building $12,000 of actual wealth every year. So who's actually getting richer? Person B is accumulating wealth 6 times faster despite earning $25,000 less per year. This is where the psychology gets fascinating. See, our brains have this thing called lifestyle creep. The moment we get a raise, we unconsciously upgrade our life to match it. New apartment, better car, more expensive restaurants. And suddenly that extra income, it's just gone. According to a 2023 study from the Federal Reserve, 40% of Americans making over $100,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. $100,000, and they can't cover a $1,000 emergency without going into debt. That's not an income problem, that's a psychology problem. Here's what most people don't realize. Every dollar you spend is actually costing you way more than a dollar. If you invest that dollar instead at a conservative 8% annual return, in 30 years, that's $10.06. So that $5 latte in opportunity cost, that's actually a $50 latte. I'm not saying never buy coffee, but I'm saying be intentional about it. Okay, mistake number 2, and this one personally cost me about $30,000 before I figured it out, optimizing for the wrong number. Look, here's the thing. We obsess over interest rates and credit card rewards and finding the absolute cheapest price on everything. And yeah, those things matter, but they're like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic if you're ignoring the big stuff. Let me break this down with real numbers because this is where it gets shocking. Scenario 1, you spend 10 hours researching to save $200 on a TV. You clip coupons religiously, saving maybe $30 a week. You drive across town for cheaper gas, saving $3 per fill-up. Annual savings, maybe $2,000 if you're really dedicated. Scenario 2, you spent those same 10 hours negotiating a $5,000 raise at your job, just once. That's $5,000 extra per year, every year, compounding with future raises. Or you take those hours to learn a high-income skill that bumps your earning potential by 20%. Or you refinance your mortgage, dropping your rate by just 0.5%, saving $150 per month. That's $1,800 a year on a $300,000 mortgage. Same time invested. But one approach makes you 2, 3x more money, or even 10x. This is where the psychology gets really interesting. Small financial decisions feel more controllable, so we focus on them. It feels good to save $20 at the grocery store. But the big stuff, negotiating salaries, switching careers, moving to a lower cost of living area, that feels scary and uncertain. So we optimize for feeling in control rather than optimizing for actual results. According to research from Harvard Business School, the average person who negotiates their starting salary earns $500,000 more over their career than someone who doesn't. $500,000 from one uncomfortable conversation. All right, mistake number 3, and honestly, this might be the most dangerous one. Believing that financial success is about finding the secret. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. There is no secret, and that's actually the secret. Here's what most people don't realize. The formula for building wealth hasn't changed in 100 years. Spend less than you earn, invest the difference in assets that appreciate, do it consistently for decades. That's it. That's the whole game. But here's what we do instead. We're constantly searching for the hack, the crypto coin that'll 100x, the stock pick that's about to explode, the real estate deal that'll make us millionaires overnight. And look, I get it, because that boring formula, it means accepting that wealth is built slowly.
And our brains hate that. We have this cognitive bias called present bias. We massively overvalue immediate rewards versus delayed ones. This is where it gets really interesting. A 2024 study from Vanguard analyzed the returns of their investors over 15 years. Want to know what they found? The investors who had the highest returns weren't the ones making sophisticated trades. They weren't timing the market or picking hot stocks. They were the ones who forgot they had an account. I'm serious. The best performing investors were literally the ones who set up automatic investments and then basically never touched it again. The ones constantly trying to optimize to find the next big thing, they underperformed by an average of 2.3% per year. Over 30 years, on a $500,000 portfolio, that's a difference of $1.2 million. Lost, just from trying too hard to be clever. So here's what this all means, and why it actually matters. The real mistakes aren't about what you do with money. They're about how you think about money. If you're treating income as wealth, you'll always be on a hamster wheel, running faster, but getting nowhere. If you're optimizing for the wrong numbers, you're working incredibly hard at being mediocre. And if you're searching for secrets, you're missing the obvious truth right in front of you. Look, here's what you can actually do about this starting today. 1. Calculate your actual savings rate. Not what you earn, what percentage you're keeping. If it's under 15%, that's your first priority to fix. 2. Spend 1 hour this week on one big financial decision. Negotiate something. Research that career move. Refinance something. Just one big thing. 3. Set up automation. Automatic investments, automatic savings transfers. Make the boring thing happen without you having to think about it. And here's the thing. None of this is sexy. None of it will make you rich by next month. But here's what most people don't realize. In 10 years, you're going to arrive at 10 years older no matter what you do. The only question is whether you'll arrive there wealthy or still making these same 3 mistakes. And look, I know this stuff is frustrating. It frustrated me for years, but once you understand these psychological patterns, once you see how they're operating in your own life, that's when things start to shift. If this helped you see money differently, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment telling me which mistake hit closest to home. I read every single one. And remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. You got this.